Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juan, I am just one reader, and you are watching my supremely sad and short September wrap-up. I managed to read the incredible, astounding amount of 3 books in the month of September. This is a very low point in my 2018 reading year. I've been trying to come up with different reasons as to why I read so little. And I think partly that was because I was just not really in a reading mood. I have a lot of things on my plate right now, a lot of activities. I am doing a lot of academic reading for classes and seminars. I am doing clinical presentations of my work, and I just haven't really felt the energy, the reading energy that I usually feel. My free time in September was spent watching TV, watching Netflix, watching Gilmore Girls over and over again, watching movies, going to the theater, watching opera master classes on YouTube, just doing things that I hadn't done in such a long time. And I am glad that I was able to do something different. Other than reading. Now, that being said, I do kind of resent the fact that I did not read as much as I normally do and as much as I would have liked to, because I did have a very ambitious and very exciting TBR for September, but I just didn't follow it. I read only 1 book from that TBR. So, there are many different reasons and possible explanations as to why I didn't read as much as I usually do, but, you know, I still read 3 books. I enjoyed what I read, and that is what counts. Everything is fine in this life as long as it's guilt-free, as long as it doesn't make you resent yourself and hate yourself. So I'm fine with it. Now, very quickly, the books that I read in September were these 3. Stoner by John Williams. Then on my Kindle, I read Brewster's Millions, which we read as a body read with Steve Donahue. He kind of summoned us to read this alongside him. And finally, I did finish The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. Now, Stoner by John Williams, I've already talked about on my channel before. I have done a review for this, a separate review. I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. It is a strange book in a way. It's not a common book. It's a book that in many ways is desperately needed. It's incredibly relevant and necessary today, I think. I loved it. I thought it was exciting, incredibly clever, and stupidly well written, like gorgeously written. I loved the characterization. I loved the language has this kind of lush, but at the same time, it's kind of a lush feel to it. This kind of luxurious language, but at the same time, it's incredibly stoic and minimalistic. I don't know, I really loved it. And I love how this book addresses work and life and love and happiness and these very important topics in a way that I think is really relevant and really necessary today. So I gave this 5 stars. I thought it was really remarkable, and it will be in my top 10 of the year, I'm pretty sure. Then, like I said, on my Kindle, I read Brewster's Millions. I forget the name of the author, George Barr McCutcheon. Brewster's Millions, there we go. And this is the story of a man, a young man called Brewster. And he, I mean, to sum it up, it's about this man, Brewster, and he receives an inheritance, but it's an incredibly funny kind of story because basically what he has to do is, in order to receive $7 million, or I think I don't remember if this is the actual sum of money, the amount of money, but I think it's $7 million. In order to receive $7 million, he has to spend $1 million in a year, and there's a lot of different restrictions and requirements that he has to do and that he has to deal with, and it's a romp, it's a farce, it's a satire. It's very funny, it's very over the top, it's hilarious. I really liked the book at the beginning. The beginning chapters I thought were really good, but then the book just kind of lost me. I thought it was like watching, like if they did an SNL sketch, but they turned it into a movie, and so they kind of dissolve it and stretch it way too thin. That's how I felt when reading Brewster's Millions. Like, this could have been a great short story or something different, but overall, I just didn't really like it that much. I gave it, I think, 2 stars or something like that. But I loved the reading experience. We read it on Voxer, on a group chat, and sometimes people wrote, texted their opinions, paragraphs, entire paragraphs of opinion. Most of us, particularly the ones that are very chatty, such as myself, recorded voice notes and voice messages, and that was just a lot of fun hearing and interacting this way with other booktubers. I really loved the experience, and I'm looking forward to another buddy read, maybe when I am more available, when I have more free time to actually do the experience the way that it's supposed to be done. But yeah, I really liked the experience, certainly far better than the book itself. And then finally, The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. I just finished this book like a couple hours ago, and I am still not sure what to make of it, honestly. On the one hand, I really liked it, but on the other hand, there are certain things that I cannot look away from and that I cannot like push aside and deny. I would love to give this book like a 4 stars or maybe even higher, but I won't. I think I will give this book 3.5 stars, maybe a solid 4, maybe. The thing with this book is it is kind of a weird, wonderful combination of Daphne du Maurier, Henry James, Shirley Jackson, Edgar Allan Poe, that kind of thing. It's a story of this family who have lived in this English manor house in the countryside, and this house is kind of fallen to into disrepair and neglect, and it's kind of similar to the setting of I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith, actually, which is one of my favorite books. And we see the same dynamic, a family that used to be really wealthy and that used to have a lot of money and status, but now they have fallen into disrepair, and so they are kind of the shadow of themselves. And I think that is a romantic, wonderful idea. And this book plays with that. And also, really, essentially, the book is about this other character, Dr. Faraday. And he is the town doctor, and he is called upon to treat a member of this family who live in this house. And I really don't know what to say about this book in terms of the plot and what it's about. It really isn't about any one thing in particular. It's about these characters, and most importantly, their interactions with themselves, with one another, but also with the house itself. It's an incredibly atmospheric book. I really liked that. I thought it was remarkably well written. This is my second time reading Sarah Waters, and I've been blown away by her description of the setting yet again. And I want to make a separate book review for this, but not right now because I still need to process it. I feel like this is a novel that needs to, I need to let it sit and simmer and sink in. So more thoughts on The Little Stranger coming up later on another video. Let me know what you guys have thought of this or Brewster's Millions. Thanks for watching. I am Just One Reader.